Hello everybody, John here. It's just a couple weeks before I believe bee season is going to start. Last year at the end of March, there were a few swarms already starting. So I quickly wanted to show you a quick way to render wax. If you've got leftover beeswax and you've got a dead out this year and you're going to remove some of the old comb, if you're a backyard beekeeper, this is a very quick and easy way to render wax. First of all, I'm not going to go through the whole process. I'm going to make this a quick video. You probably don't want to sit here and watch me melt wax. So the first thing you really need to get is, I think this might be a gallon or 5-quart crock pot. Find you an old one somewhere at a flea market, a yard sale, whatever you can do, because you'll never use it for anything else again. And what I like to do then is put a little water in it, about half full maybe, and then I collect my beeswax, and I'll show you a quick little spot here how I clean this beeswax if it's fresh beeswax that I just squeezed honey from. I have a honey press, so when I squeeze the honey, the wax can be a little sticky still, and what I do is I'll set it outside and I'll show you here. Once the bees have cleaned up the wax, then I take it, collect it, and I put it in. This is a gallon paint strainer. You can buy them, and it's got an elastic top on it. A very simple way to put the wax in then. Set it in your crock pot. Let it heat up. It takes usually 2 or 3 hours for it to warm up enough, and finally melt it. And when it's melted, basically you'll pull this on out, and I usually have a wooden spatula or something here that I squeeze this and get all the wax out of it. If it's brood comb, of course, you'll have some debris left in there, the paper husks from the baby bees, and usually you'll have just a little ball of debris left, and I take it out then. You unplug the crock pot, you let it cool off. It usually takes overnight. Next day it's cooled off, and what comes out of it then is usually a nice little piece of wax like this. This is a little cleaner wax. It was mostly wax from my pressing out honey. So your brood comb, a lot of times you'll have a little darker color depending on what kind of comb you have and how old it is. So this will come out of your crock pot when you're done. Dump out your water. Sometimes you might want to wipe it down a little bit while it's warm, the wax off of it. And then I'll show you what I do with the wax. Now really the only thing I do with wax is I make some candles, and I save some of the wax in case I want to paint something onto my strips, my top bars, or whatever, if I need a little beeswax. So this process might not be the best for if you're making wax for cosmetic reasons or other things like that, but it gets the wax pretty clean with the paint bag. And then as I heat up the wax, of course you need a double boiler, I think they call it. You have a pot with water half full, and then you'll put your broken up pieces of wax in the little pot here. And what I usually do, I think this may take 6 ounces or so, or 8 ounces of wax to make this little mold. It's a simple little beehive candle mold. You got to put your wicks in it. I use this little lid off of a quart jar to hold up my wicks in the center. So I've got it ready to go, and the wax is melting in my double pot here. And this is a little, one other little strainer. It's for paint again, and it's to clean out paint. It was a lot taller, but I cut it off. These are cheap, I think 50 cents or so maybe. But I put this in the funnel, and then I got my wax, and it's hot, and it's melted. And then I'll just sit here and pour into each of these candle holders. And this takes out 99% of the debris and whatever's left in the wax. Just this 2 little methods. Heating it once in the crock pot and then heating it up here in the boiler and pouring it through this last filter. And what you end up usually is with some nice looking little candles. Uh, they're easy to pop out of the mold. And then you've got a nice little honeycomb uh, beeswax candle, pure beeswax, very good. Several things pure beeswax is good for, especially in a candle. Burns brighter, I think. It puts maybe something in the air to clean the air. And it just smells good. So this is what I come up with. Simple little way to get rid of some of our wax. And I don't have an extreme amount, but I can easily make maybe 20, 30 candles a year to give away as gifts and give them to people. So it's just a neat little thing to do with your leftover beeswax. Hope you can use some of these ideas and make something of your own. Very simple for a backyard beekeeper. Hope you enjoyed, and as always, God bless.